Hello everyone, welcome back to Green Iron Garage. I'm trying this on my phone because I don't have anything else handy at the time, so we'll see how this goes. I'm not sure what to expect, but got a new project in the shop. That's a John Deere. You might be able to see it behind me. If you've been around one, probably know what it is. But Dad picked one of these up since he's having some issues with being able to bury the residue on his little cornfield. And so we're hoping that with something like this, he can break that residue up a little bit more. When he bales his corn stalks off, he'll be able to get more of the corn stalks in the bale, even though it's going to be a little bit fluffier. It's going to be a little bit harder to bale. But there won't be as much trash left over when it comes to tillage time. And he's pretty limited with what he can do with tillage because of his horsepower. And he doesn't want to keep pulling the plow through the ground, which is understandable. So we're gonna try this. It was cheap enough. If it doesn't make a difference, or if it doesn't work or makes things worse, we'll be able to get what we paid for it. But I'll give you a little tour here and just kind of give you some tips, tricks, things that I've learned working on this. This is a John Deere Model 27 stock chopper, or flail chopper, I guess. It's a 15-foot model, so that works out to be 6 rows. Now, I've spent some time pulling one of these, but it was a newer model, and so it had a few different features, a few different things. One of the first things that comes to mind is on the newer models, they have remote grease zerks in the back here for the center bearings. On this model, the guy has to crawl underneath and actually grease the bearings at the bearings underneath there. So not a big deal for the amount of acres Dad covers. It's going to be a one-time-a-year thing. The center tube here, this square tubing on the back, has actually been replaced. We bought this chopper on an auction that it came from a dairy farm that the company I work for sells skid loaders to. And so I was able to talk to the guys there and get some history on it. And their maintenance guy said that square tubing had given out at some point and broken, and he replaced the whole thing with a piece of tubing that was thicker sidewall. So that should never be an issue again. I did have to put new wheel bearings in it. Some of them I had to replace the whole assembly, or the whole, both sets of races, both bearings. Some of them I only had to replace one bearing, and actually there was one I didn't have to replace any. But I did do all new seals in the hubs just because they were old and kind of cracked. So figured might as well keep that grease in there so that he doesn't ever have to worry about bearings again. Now, the big thing with this model, and I can't tell you if it's the same on the newer ones or not because I've never changed the gearbox oil on one of the newer ones. But here's the gearbox. I have the covers and stuff off of it right now. But there is 3 layers of steel under the gearbox. You have this piece that it sits on, and then you have the main frame, and then the bottom portion of the hitch in the main frame there. John Deere, in their infinite wisdom, and you guys know I bleed green, but every once in a while there's something I don't like. They drilled a hole through this top piece for the drain plug, but not through the bottom 2. And so I actually ended up taking my cherry picker and lifting the gearbox off of here. I had to take the bearings loose right there and slide this whole shaft out, take the belts loose and everything. I came over with my cherry picker and I lifted up the gearbox and set the drain pan underneath it and drained it out. But while I did that, I actually I took my drill, and I had a nice long drill bit, and I drilled down through all 3 layers of that steel. And now you can get up to the bottom of it with an extension and pull that drain plug. So don't have to worry about that again. You can see it from underneath, so if a guy had the right combination of swivels and stuff like that, you could maybe get to it, but it just didn't seem like it was going well, so I just decided that pulling the gearbox would be the easiest option. But other than that, the knives on this thing, they've got a little bit of use on one side, and the other side is unused. We knew that when we bought it because I was able to talk to the people that owned it. They used it a couple years ago a little bit, and then it kind of got parked back in the trees, and they got a chopping corn head, so they just really didn't have any need for it. They were doing a liquidation sale to get rid of some old equipment and stuff, and this was one of the things they didn't want anymore. So we got it for a decent price. Got to figure out how I'm going to get it down to Dad's place yet. It's about 85 miles from here, and I don't have a trailer big enough to put it on, so we'll see. It does have a transport position that you can put it into, but it seems like an awful lot of screwing around. But basically you clamp one of the wheel assemblies on this square tubing right here, and you clamp another one on the square tubing here, and then the hitch slides out and actually goes in the far end, and you can pull it lengthwise down the road. But like I said, I don't know. I might just pick a Sunday when there's not much going on and find some back roads and just hook onto it the way it is and tow it down there. So now that it's got its all new wheel bearings, that shouldn't be a problem. So once we get her out in the field, I'll take some video. I'm hoping if we got enough manpower that we can run in the field the same day as the combine and just get a whole bunch of stuff done all at once. But we'll see what happens. So thanks for watching, guys. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, and check back for more. And we got some exciting new stuff coming up soon. Some big life changes. So be looking for that as well. So have a great day.